folks, welcome to the City Council meeting, 10th March, 6 p.m. We got a very special guest here today. Before I introduce the guest, it's my honor to acknowledge that we are gathered in the William Lake First Nations, Swepnik peoples unceded territory, thanks to the chief, the elders, the nation, allowing us to get together and do the business. The council member, I'm glad to report to the community, everybody is physically here today, which is a great. Adoption of the agendas on the table, please. Moved and seconded, Councillor Flashpoller, Councillor Beam. Any addition, deletion? Hearing none, all in favor. Carried. Minute of the regular council meeting of February 24 is on the table.
So moved.
Councillor Nelson, Councillor Flashpoller, any addition, deletion? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried. It is an honor, being a soldier, to welcome a soldier to Williams Lake, Lieutenant from the Navy, Zach Lipinski, and Sailor First Class Nick Straub, original from Williams Lake, on returning from the deployment of abroad HMCS. Max, please, Florida, you're welcome, folks. Thank you, sir.
It's an honor to be here today with all of you and for you guys to have me here. So my name is Sailor First Class Nicholas Straub. I am from Williams Lake, so this is my hometown. Next slide. So keep clicking. Yeah, so here's some pictures. That's my family. Next slide. Or keep going. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, so I joined the Navy in 2021, and I'd like to share my experiences with you while I've been in the Navy. So next slide, or keep clicking. So I did basic military qualification, as everybody does when they first join, no matter if you're Air Force, Army, or Navy. Here's some photos from that. Next slide. And then from there, everybody goes on to do Naval Environmental Training Phase. So the Navy, after basic training, you have to learn how to be a sailor and whatnot. So here's some photos from that. But basically what that entails is you need to learn how to fight fires, floods, and survive at sea if, God forbid, the ship ever, you need to, never happens though. But here's some photos from that as well. But next slide. So I am a Naval Combat Information Operator. So my job essentially is to know everything that happens around the ship. So I operate all the, next slide, sorry. I operate all the shipborne sensors and reconnaissance and intelligence systems on the ship, as well as now lately they've also thrown drones in there as well. So we're also using drones. But after NETP, you would go through your trades training. But next slide. So this is what I'm here to talk to you guys about today. I just got back from a 5-month deployment overseas. So if you go over to the next slide here. Next slide. Sorry, that. Yeah, here we go. So my ship is the, keep clicking, sorry. It's a animated kind of thing. Yeah. So, my ship is an offshore Arctic patrol vessel, Harry DeWolf class, that Max Bernays, that's actually my ship in the photo. We went and we did Operation Latitude, if you go to the next one. So Operation Latitude is to focus on Canada's Arctic sovereignty. So a lot of people forget that we actually have 3 coastlines, not just 2. We have one up in the Arctic. And as the world situation is changing, it's getting much more important that we maintain a presence up there. And because one, their waters are warming and the shipping lanes are opening, and that's vital trade routes in the future. It's going to be very important. And also for our defense, because as the crow flies up there, we're not very far from some of our potential adversaries. Next slide. So, yeah. here's some of what I saw on op latitude, more photos. That's my ship up there, yeah. And next slide. So that's interesting thing about that. We actually went farther than any Canadian Navy ship has gone up north. We went all the way up to 81 degrees, 12 north. So I don't know if any of you guys are familiar. The North Pole is at 90 degrees. So we were right smack dab in the middle of the Arctic there. But if you click next slide. So from there, we also went down and we went into the Indo-Pacific and we did Op Horizon and Op Neon. I'm going to talk to you about what Op Horizon is here. So it's basically to prove interoperability with partner nations. So we were there working with other countries' navies and proving that we can integrate properly with them in different exercises, such as Annual X hosted by the Japanese and Sama-Sama hosted by the Philippines. Next slide. Here's me in Korea, in Busan. That is at the Korean War Memorial, which was quite humbling for me to go there and see all the headstones and gravestones with all the different countries that sacrificed so much for that. Here is us doing an exercise, Annual X, with the Japanese, Australians, Great Britain, Filipinos, and Koreans. So here's some highlights from that, doing exercises and working with our partner nations. Next slide. While we're there, it's not all work. We get to go to port. So we do like events and sports with partner nations. So we had a sports game, we won, and yeah, because we're Canada. But yeah, that's next slide. That's us crossing the equator. So we went all the way from the Arctic. We went all the way down and we went across the equator at the international date line. So 00180. So there's another highlight from that. Next slide. So we also did Op Neon. So that is Canada's contribution to enforce United Nations Security Council resolutions against North Korea. So that is basically making sure that we're monitoring for ship-to-ship transfers that are supplying fuel that are violating sanctions against North Korea. So while we were there, we did that. Next slide. That's my ops team that I worked with while I was there with holding up drones. Good-looking bunch of people, but other than that, next slide. We also did a lot of diplomatic work with other nations. This is that was my CO doing a commanding officer doing a gift exchange with a Japanese commanding officer of another ship, and that is an Australian destroyer. Next slide. That's me shooting a gun. Next slide. There's my commanding officer, who yes happens to be a woman, but it just goes to show that anybody can make it anywhere in the CAF. It doesn't matter who you are. If you do a good job, you'll get to the top. Next slide. Go on. Slide. And that's all I have for you today. I know it was short, but I just wanted to thank you guys all again for having me here at your council.
I really appreciate your presentation. Yeah. Quite often we, the citizen of any country, take our independence as granted. Mm-hmm. But these are the sailors, Air Force people, the soldier in the army, regardless any force. These are the people, they are protecting not to us so we can have a sound sleep. They protect us, our borders, our country. They look after our well-being. I really salute you, sir.
Thank you.
And your colleagues, and thank you very much. It's an honor to receive you here today as a delegation. Agri Council Flashfuller.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Worship. So I guess to address you properly, it's Sailor First Class Nick Straub, correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay. Thanks so much for coming in, and not only showcasing your dedication for, you know, this country, everything that we do, your dedication to our community by coming in here and just showing us how you're committing, you know, so much time and energy and effort. It's amazing seeing all the different aspects and things that you had done on your deployment, you know, for all of us that live here. And I just want to thank you personally for that effort, and your colleague for coming in as well to be here with you, and to just show how, you know, every community contributes to these great causes that are so important for all of us. So just thank you so much for everything you do. Really, really awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Council Flashwell. Council Nelson?
Thank you very much, Lieutenant Navy Zach Zabinski and Sailor First Class Nick Straub for your presentation tonight. This is hometown. The world is absolutely crazy right now, and by you bringing forward this presentation helps to provide us with a global perspective of what's taking place, and glad you're home safe, and we appreciate very much for what you do for our country and for our community. Thank you very much.
Anybody else? We got a clerk's
All
note,
right,
please.
thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And once again, thank you for protecting us, okay? We will take
Surrender.
the motion, then we'll take the picture, please. Hang on, if you don't mind, please. I think Council want to take a picture. We got a clerk's note, please.
The recommendation that the presentation of Lieutenant Zach Lipinski and Sailor First Class Nick Straub, originally from Williams Lake, on Sailor Straub's return from deployment aboard the HMCS Max Bernays to the Arctic and Pacific, and his experiences on deployment be received for information.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any question, concern, comment? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried unanimously. So every council member, please come to the middle. That's okay.
Becca, you gotta use your voice, tell them to look at you.
Okay, I got everyone. Okay. And smile. And take a few. Thank you.
Thank you. Really appreciate, keep protecting the Canadian, keep protecting them. Okay, moving along, general government, computer checks, please.
Recommendation that the accounts payable computer check EFT listings dated February 26th and March 5th, 2026 be received for information.
So moved, your worship.
Moved and seconded. Any error, question, concern? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried, thank you. And the development permit.
The recommendation that pursuant to the report of the planner dated February 2nd, 2026, council approved development permit number 01-2026 for 0695314 BC Limited, Scott Tucker, to permit a residential multiplex development at 406 Pearkes Drive.
Moved and seconded. Anybody from the public have any question, one way or the other, or any concern wanted to share? First call, anybody for or against the permit? Second call. Third and final call, anybody in favor or against? Hearing none, I'll close the opportunity to speak. Motion. Moved and seconded. Oh, it's done. Okay. Councilor Nelson.
Thank you very much, your worship, and thanks to the public for coming out tonight. I'll be supporting the recommendation in front of us, and thanks to the investor, Scott Tucker, for bringing this opportunity forward and delivering more homes to our community. So I'll be supporting the recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you. It's great to see the empty lot for sitting years and years being consumed. This lot would be developed under the new legislation. The legislation be accepted, be approved last year, and thanks to Ms. Ball, Jessica done an excellent job. And these kind of opportunities we needed and we appreciate. And Mr. Tucker being so much community-minded, I congratulate you, sir. Really appreciate your investment in the community. Anybody hearing none? All in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Development variance permit and DBP 12026.
The recommendation that pursuant to the report of the planner dated February 5th, 2026, council approved development variance permit number 01-2026 for Peter Arnold Log Homes on behalf of 607841 BC Limited to vary section 4M2 maximum height and story of City of Williams Lake zoning bylaw number 2430-2025 to increase the maximum allowable height from 6 meters to 15 meters and the stories from 1.5 to 4 for accessory buildings and structures for the proposed and future construction of storage sheds for heavy equipment on 4685 Cattle Drive.
Moved and seconded again, like previous resolution. Anybody have anything to add or delete for or against the development? First call, anybody? Second call, for or against from the public? Third call, here I close the opportunity to speak. Motion been moved and seconded. Any comment from the council member? This is the second building. The reason we had a development permit is the second building is going to be a little bit higher than the first building. That is the basically nutshell reason why we had the variance permit. All in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Okay, moving along, NCLGA resolution.
The recommendation that pursuant to the report of the Manager of Economic Development dated March 3rd, 2026, council approved submission of the drafted resolution on fiber recovery and wildfire protection for consideration at the 2026 North Central Local Government Association Convention.
Moved and second, Councillor Bose and Councillor Flashpoller. Any comment? Comment once, second, hearing none, all in favor? Carried. UBCM Local Government Development Approval Program.
The recommendation that pursuant to the report of the Manager of Economic Development dated March 2nd, 2026, council approved the submission of an application to the Union of BC Municipalities Local Government Development Approvals Program 2026, requesting $25,000 to update the city's development approval procedures bylaw and supporting documents and forms to increase efficiency and streamlining in the development approval process.
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded, Councillor Bain, Councillor Nelson. Any concern, comment, Councillor Flashpoller?
Thank you, Your Worship. No concerns, but I just want to once again thank staff for the efforts on all of these applications that go through. I think it's really great that we are trying to get everything streamlined and more efficient. So just seeing them put, these requests in so that we can be supported here as a municipality to make things efficient is just great. And I just want to thank staff again.
Thank you, of course, staff. We are very lucky to have the staff we had, and thanks to Mr. Maraka for the leadership, and I appreciate all what our staff do. Any more comment? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Age-friendly community grant application.
The recommendation that pursuant to the report of the Manager of Economic Development dated March 3rd, 2026, council approve an application to the BC Healthy Communities 2026 Age-Friendly Communities Grant Program in the amount of $15,000 for activities related to the SOUP series coordinated by the Social Planning Council of Williams Lake and area.
Moved and seconded, Councillor Flashpoller, Councillor Bain. Any comment, Councillor Flashpoller, please?
Thank you, Your Worship. Yes, I just wanted to, comment how this just looks so excellent. Of course, it's an application for a grant, but just seeing these efforts for, it's an amount of $15,000 for activities related to the SOUP series coordinated by the Social Planning Council of Williams Lake and area. And, we have prided ourselves on being a community supporting seniors. I just went through a personal experience where my mom is 90 and she, went through a situation where she wasn't really eating as well as she could. And this is just like an exactly kind of community initiative that can be so beneficial for seniors because it's harder for them to really pay attention to good nutrition and make sure that they put the time in. So I think this is just a really great program, and I'm happy to see the grant application for this and the other groups that are behind it all and trying to make it happen for our community. Thank you.
Hearing none, I thank you, Ms. Binkamp, for the detailed report and really appreciate the effort and the work. All in favor? Oppose, if any? Carried unanimously. And budget development.
The recommendation that pursuant to the report of the Chief Financial Officer dated March 4th, 2026, Council approved the use of reserves to cover financial plan shortfall and direct staff to prepare the 2026 to 2030 financial plan bylaw and 2026 tax rate bylaw for consideration.
Moved in second, Councillor Nelson.
Thank you very much, Worship. I appreciate it. And thanks very much to the staff for the excellent hard work and the due diligence that they've done in preparing the 2026 budget. And thanks to the community for coming out and providing input on this particular budget. There is no doubt that we've got some clouds over the province and the country and the world right now. And we're, quite frankly, in a very healthy position to be able to move our community forward. We took a very strong position 8 years ago to pay down the debt for this community. And under the leadership of Mayor Rather and this council, it looks like it's going to be paid off in 2027. Yes. So that's very good news. However, saying that, one of the projects that this council and the previous council undertook was an ambitious project for a water treatment plant. You can't have a community without safe water. When we originally got that estimate, it was about $25 to $27 million. You can say that that's probably up to about $35 million, the latest report that we've got. And the staff are certainly looking at opportunities and avenues to ensure that it will fit within the budget that we require to be able to move it forward. Included that is about an $18 to $19 million grant. Here's the good news. A lot of communities that were in our position previously never applied for the grants. Well, we know that the province and the feds have run out of money. They've canceled affordable housing projects across this province. They've canceled committees across this province. They've canceled more capital projects that you can imagine. So our top priority as a council is, once our debt is paid off, is to ensure that we've got safe drinking water and a treatment plant that's going to take place. We have squirreled away some cash and behind the scenes. There's been great debates about it. There's no two ifs about it. But at the end of the day, this community is in a very healthy, strong position to be able to move forward, to advance its cause, to engage in the prospects of building a proper treatment plant. At the same time, when you look at the budget that's in front of us, we rolled over approximately 26 or 27 capital projects from 2025 into 2027. Those projects are key capital infrastructure projects that we need to do. Included inside this budget is about $1.7 million on roads that we know we desperately have to do. The reason we're moving forward, and I believe we gave early approval on a number of these, was to get out and ensure that we got the best prices possible. You saw what happened with Iran, what happened with oil. And if you don't think that's not going to have an impact on the price of oil and the price of what's going to take place on the asphalt, there's a new price coming. So I'll be supporting the recommendations that are in front of us, Your Worship. I think there's a lot of good capital projects, from the airport to streets to key projects that we wanted to get done. But I can't stress enough, the number one project for our community was paying down the debt and looking to ensure that what we do is build a water treatment plant that will last generations. So I'll be supporting this in front of us, looking at the tax rates to see where we're going to be at. Thank you, Worship.
Thank you very much, Councillor Flashfuller, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. I will also be supporting this recommendation in this budget at this time. I feel also when you look through the list and for the community, if you're looking through the list for our capital projects, I think you're going to see there's a good wide variety of different things that are being tended to and taken care of. As my colleague mentioned, some key infrastructure, also some stuff that's also good for the well-being of our community. There's been a loud voice in our community to try and support active transportation. There's things in here like an intersection that's being viewed. There's another item that is one that's overlooking safety on Western for youth and being able to move around in that area. So this is a really good spread on all the multiple things that this municipality has to take care of. And I think this is looking really good. So I want to commend staff on what they have in front of us and what we as a council have approved for the end here. One added little piece, if there are members of the community that have overviewed this capital project list, we just caught today when we were looking at it, there's a couple items that are not listed correctly just because of the program that had been shifted. So I'm sure if you go into the city website, you'll get the proper sheet. Or if you have any questions in regards to some of the items, please feel free to contact staff and they can let you know. But I also agree with this and I think that this looks really great for this year. Thank you.
2 words from me. Somebody might think it's election speech. It's not. Of course, it's election year. I do not want it to make the campaign for a year round. I'll be definitely happy, so happy next month. I'll be dancing in the rain, along with my colleague, council member, also the seniors or all the staff member. When we're going to have paid off $4.4 million of their debt. It's unheard of it. I appreciate the previous councils, the leadership, time to time. They tried their best. They did the best they could do. I'm not the person to point fingers to anybody. For good or bad, I appreciate it. When I was on work site, my boss used to say, never mind what happened. If things went haywire under your watch, you get the things corrected. That's what I tell the staff. That's what I tell the council. This council had not only paid the regular payment, but had paid $4.4 million. I can't stress enough. 2 year, yes, when this council came, 23, we have to raise the taxes. 24, we raised the taxes. Even though the newspaper have not corrected yet, I had a little bit discussion with the editor. They said Penticton was the community who did not raise the taxes. No, Penticton raised 5.8% taxes last year. We were the only community in BC who went down 3.2% mill rate. I cannot talk this loud enough. And this year, the council direction to the staff is bring the budget close to the zero. I don't know if it's going to be zero or not. When the budget comes, direction given to the staff, council and staff is still working on, we'll see. But it's nothing but win-win situation. Paying the debt and reducing the taxes. That was the key last year. We're working on this year. We have done record high projects. And this is done because of the dedication of the staff. I can thank you to our CFO, as well as to Mr. Maraca, his leadership, his team. They all work together. And again, I make no bones telling the community, it's not council and mayor. It's not council, mayor, and staff. It's you included. Last year, we had the record high, the permits and the building permits and the license. We became ever, I never heard in 51 years of my William Lake life, became number 17 in Canada. It was all done because of you all. Everybody is a part and parcel of that. So pat yourself in the back. What you're doing, please continue doing. I'm not going to sit here and sing Kumbaya song. We have done everything. No, we haven't. We got a long way to go yet. We have came a long way. We got a long way to go yet. And council and communities working together, I'm sure, while working together, if we can resolve the issue like Atlantic Power, we can resolve any issue. So I request each and every one of you, the viewers, the citizens are listening, watching, please keep working, suggest us, tell us. Your mayor and council does not know anything. Trust me, we don't. We listen to you, we take your advice, we work accordingly. Our job is to make the policies. Mr. Maraka's job is to look after the operation. Today, just before I came to the council meeting, somebody sent the email, had some grievances. And I replied to them same way, hopefully council members have seen that. It's not our baby. Our job is the policies, but I'm not going to turn my eyes away, definitely. I'll keep talking to Mr. Maraka, and he gave the news to the council and my office. Your worship, the things are resolved, things are looked after. So whenever you had any operational issue, please talk to Mr. Maraka, CEO. He look after the operation. Whenever you had a policy issue, come talk to any council member, call my office, anything. Thank you very much, and congratulations to you, Mr. Maraka, and Mr. Batali, and all the staff involved in the City Hall. And please give yourself a pat in the back. I've done enough, said enough, all in favor. Carried unanimously, thank you. Moving along, Western Avenue Public Water Reservoir lining.
Recommendation that pursuant to the report of the Procurement and Asset Management Coordinator dated February 24th, 2026, Council approve award of the Western Avenue Potable Water Reservoir Lining Tender to Western Tank and Line Limited for the tendered price of $174,798 plus applicable taxes.
So moved.
And moved in second, I suppose everybody's aware, before the budget, provincial budget, we used to pay the provincial tax and we get it back. Now, no, we can't get any penny back. So the cost is a full cost, whatever. In my understanding, this is within the budget. And again, thanks to the staff and going out and getting the proper quotes and everything and looking after, like my colleague said earlier, there's no community without a good water. So this would help us, anything. All in favor? Carried, thank you. Electric left truck.
The recommendation that pursuant to the report of the Procurement and Asset Management Coordinator dated February 18th, 2026, Council award the request for a quote for the purchase of one 2026 electric lift truck to Wansing Machinery Limited for the purchase price of $44,240, including all applicable taxes.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. This is the truck was on the last council meeting. The quote came, as the community can see, as my colleague mentioned a bit earlier, how the prices are fluctuating. The lowest bid to the highest bid is more than double. The reason last council meeting this item was pulled, staff wanted to make sure they got all the T's and dots crossed. They wanted to make sure we are getting the right thing for our bucks. That's why it was pulled out. And thanks to the staff, and congratulations, Mr. Maraka, once again to your staff, doing the due diligence. Any more comment? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried unanimously. And BC Council of Forest Industry.
Clerks note that the letter from the BC Council of Forest Industries and their letter dated February 26, 2026, requesting official endorsement of their Forestry as a Solution initiative be received.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. There's no question. William Lake is known as a home of the forestry and the mining and the ranching industry. Ever since I came here it's been like that. I don't think it will ever change. Yes, it's a home of the Caribou Cowboys and Cowgirls. I support it 100%. We had a meeting today during lunch with the Economic Development Committee, manager and staff. Majority part of our discussion was on the forestry. The things would come, we'll work on it, we're working on it. Nothing could be better to getting our forestry back online. We have lost number of jobs, there's no question. Like I said, we have come a long way in 40 months. We got a long way to go. And, I always request the community, have a patience, give us some time. We're working, we're in the right direction. Councilor Nelson.
Well, I appreciate very much your comments, and I support the recommendation that's in front of us, Your Worship. Let's be honest, let's be frank, and let's have a very, very open discussion. The Minister of Forests is a great guy. As a matter of fact, he's a super guy. He's down to earth. He speaks very well. He wants to make changes. But those changes aren't coming. Those changes are costing us jobs. They're costing us companies. They committed to trying to ensure that the permitting process would be significantly reduced from 2 years to 90 days. It's not happening. And it is costing communities, whether it's Williams Lake, Quesnel, Prince George, Chetwynd, rural-based communities, jobs. Just because the minister stands up and claps his hand and says, this is what we're going to do, and by God, we're going to get her done. Mr. Minister, it's not happening. You're costing rural British Columbia jobs, you're costing rural British Columbia money, and you're being detrimental to really the province as a whole because you're not doing your job. And that's to ensure when you bring in new policy initiatives, those policy initiatives, Your Worship, need to be implemented. They're not being implemented. Just go and talk to anybody in the forest sector today, and while they agree with the minister, it's not being done. So if it's not being done, the minister has to look inside that box and say, why is it not being done? And quite frankly, they should be on the firing line. We need to get productivity done. We need to ensure that productivity and the red tape, and especially the red tape, is removed. Story after story after story, we hear from our local contractors, they can't get permits. Mr. Ravi, you're the Minister of Forests. You're the boss. We're asking you to do your job. And if you can't do your job, step aside so that somebody that knows and understands how to get the job done can get in there and get the job done, because these permits are still 2 years out. Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you very much, Councilor Nelson. Your point well taken. Myself and our economic development manager, sometime during the week, I don't even remember what day was it, we met with the stakeholders, and that was the message we received. There's no question. There's a level, minister and deputy minister and regional manager. The problem is between bottom to the deputy minister to the regional manager. We had excellent people in our community. Everybody praised the minister, everybody praised the deputy minister, something in between. My office, with the help of the economic development manager, we are working. And definitely, I'm not going to wait until the Kofi. Whenever I get the letter or the notes prepared, I'm willing to take it or do something and send it to Victoria. Hopefully, we can make it, as heard, we already did. We have always done in the last 40 months. I don't see any reason why we are working together, all our stakeholders are with us, why we cannot. We will win this time too, and I can assure you the energy you 6 members of council give it to my office and the staff and the community leaders. We never get tired. A lot of time people ask, hey, don't you people get tired? No, your council is representing you. We wanted to make sure that we stand together and we win for our community. regardless their residents, their business community, everybody. So point well taken, sir, and we're working on. Anybody else? Anything from you, Mr. CEO? Anything? Okay, please.
So, Your Worship, hearing the discussion around the table right now, the motion is just to receive for information, but they are specifically asking for endorsement of their solution. So, if you want to do that,
I would,
I'll move those recommendations.
Yes, thank you. Endorse that. Thank you to Council Nelson and Council Flashfuller seconded. We will endorse that wholeheartedly. There's no question. All in favor of endorsement? Thank you. Carried unanimously. And the next one is a thank you letter for the support of Canadian Blood Services.
Clerks note that the letter from Canadian Blood Services, Bhavna Puni and Nathan Day, dated February 27, 2026, thanking Council for supporting their cause and helping to raise awareness of the importance of blood and plasma donation services in BC, together with a letter from Mayor Rather, dated February 26, 2026, in support of Canadian Blood Services and the need for establishment of a blood plasma donor center in Northern British Columbia, be received for information.
So moved.
Moved and second, I personally wanted to thanks to Ms. Pooney and Mr. Day. I promised to the council and the staff when we met with them that I'll find out why is not there or is it there, the blood donation in the new hospital. Our new hospital is state of the art. On regional board table, we had, all the director had the delegation from the IHA, and we had the tour of the hospital. I wanted to report publicly to the, even though it's not my job, it's the regional district hospital board job, Director L. Richmond, but I will do my duty as a mayor. Our hospital third floor is almost clean. They would not even let us go up there with our regular shoes. I mean, they want us to put the cloth cover on the shoes so it don't get dirty. It looking beautiful. I asked the question to Ms. Cooper, is the blood donation section going to be there or not? This was the promise I made to the council, and the answer from the staff is it's not a problem for the blood donation. The problem is Red Cross have to come and tell us about the storage. And she was to get back to me. I haven't heard yet. I'm going to keep a things to do list on my table, in my book. Whenever I hear, I'll let the community know. So that's a matter of storing the blood. That is the question. Right now, we do not have a facility all the way to Kelowna to get the blood donation done if you wanted to. You know, nothing in IHA, nothing in the Northern Health Authority. So it's a little bit tricky, but they're working on, let's see what happens. Keep your finger crossed. Hopefully, they will give us the good news. All in favor of the resolution on the table, carried unanimously. Expanding diagnostic image.
Clerks note that the letter from the Physiotherapy Association in British Columbia, dated March 4th, 2026, requesting the city's support and advocating to the provincial government for modernization of the scope of practice for PABC members to include the ability to order diagnostic imaging be received, and that council provide a letter of advocacy to the PABC in support of their initiative.
Councillor Payne and Councillor, I suppose, what, Delaney? Okay, thank you. And Councillor Payne?
Thank you, Worship. Yeah, I was happy to see this. I mean, it's something that in my profession we've also been advocating for, so I hope they also have a letter going forward. But with everybody's scope of practice opening up, I'm certainly hoping to see more of this, because often those are the primary providers people are seeing with the inability to get into your regular GP or have a medical doctor. It's quite often required that you have to see a physio or a chiropractor or whoever first. And so allowing a larger scope of practice for those of us that are able to diagnose, I think is a huge step forward and something that we've been advocating for. Thank you.
Thank you. It's nice to have a people from all walks of life on council. Even though the council depend upon the expert advice, but having a Councillor Bain on the council is nice because it's her profession. She can tell us before we get any other advice, somebody else had a hand on, I forget. Anybody? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried, thank you. BC Housing Project Update 845 Carson Drive.
Clerks note that the letter from BC Housing dated March 5th, 2026 regarding an update on the supportive housing project at 845 Carson Drive be received, and staff be directed to coordinate a meeting with BC Housing representatives and council for further discussion on this matter.
So moved.
Moved and second, Council Nelson.
Well, Your Worship, this is half good news and half bad news. The good news is that in the previous term, Councillor Bain was a huge advocate of pushing this particular project. This project is a homeless facilities or affordable facilities, but it had two components to it. It had a new supportive housing project and a replacement shelter. And I could only imagine how Tyler Baker feels, who is the Director of Regional Development for Interior Region, and Trina Donahue, who have worked for 6 years on this particular project. 6 years we've worked on this project to ensure that we could have a positive redevelopment supportive housing project at the top of Carson at 845. They're only going halfway in terms of what's being done. Not BC Housing, not Tyler and Trina, but the politicians, the provincial government. They're leaving rural British Columbia high and dry. They're letting people run around the streets that need these services that we've advocated for 5 to 6 years to get this built. And the government goes and cuts a significant portion of a replacement shelter out? I can't fathom where the government's headspace is at. I honestly can't understand. 6 years we've worked on this project. Tirelessly. Working together. Finding the right associations to work with. To build the supportive housings that we need with the wraparound services. I don't need to tell this council or this community how terrible it is out there, because we have lost millions of dollars in fires, starting with Marquee Mechanical, starting with the fire that took place at the bottom of Wallace Street that cost us 5 businesses. There was a fire yesterday, the day before, at Praxair and at Surplus Herbies. It's much more worse than we realize at Surplus Herbies. So the community is left to deal with these problems. It's taken us 6 years to get to this point, and the government has cut a significant portion out of this in terms of trying to help this community. So I appreciate truly what Tyler and Trina and Nanette have done to get it to this point. I'm sure that when they were listening to the budget, the crocodile tears flowed down their face, because the work and the energy as a community has been tireless to make sure this happens. But we've been robbed. Not only robbed and beaten up and thrown to the dirt, but the province has run the other way and left all the homeless and the mental illnesses in our community without the right wraparound services, because that's what's causing the havoc in our community right now, Your Worship. What is happening right now in the province of British Columbia, not only in Williams Lake, not only in Quesnel, not only in Kamloops, not only in Kelowna, is absolutely disgraceful. They're leaving communities in a terrible situation to clean up the mess that they have created. It's become hell for communities, and the government should be shamefully kicked out of office. Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you, Council Flashfuller, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'm so happy to see that we actually are getting feedback that this new supportive housing project is still going to happen at the top of Carson, and it didn't fall off the table. I think there was fears amongst all of us when there's all these cuts coming through the other levels of government that this project, like my colleague has identified, has been discussed, and we pressured the BC Housing to do for us would fall off the table. And thank goodness they've told us that the housing project hasn't fallen off. It's the replacement shelter section. And I agree with my colleague. I'm very disappointed to see that that's been cut. But I will say I'm still really happy that this supportive housing piece is still moving forward for this community, because to explain it to the community, from what I understand, this development is for individuals that are having a hard time being able to find a place when they get to a stage of they really need to be with a secure home and in a secure place, rather than just always going to a shelter and always being in a shelter. We need those places in this community where we can have roofs over top of people's heads so that they're safe. And that's where this is that next stage of support for our community that we want to see. So I'm really glad to see that there'll be spaces still in development for our municipality. I'm glad we still do have a shelter right now in the time being, and it is unfortunate that there's a bit of a change here, but at least the most, I think, important part is still in play. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Lefser. Councillor Moses, thank you very much for all the work you did it, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Worship. This is a project that we've had to do a lot of work in the background to ensure that we could be one of the only projects in British Columbia that still has our project moving forward. So that's something that we can be really excited for and be proud of. I do agree with my colleague, though, that we shouldn't have any part of our project taken away from us. We've done a lot of work to ensure that we get to keep this. I don't want to see that we only get half of it. If that's what we get, we're still getting so much more than the other communities, and we can count ourselves blessed and lucky for that. But I still think that we could make another push and ensure that we receive this full project. I would just like to talk about it very briefly. This project is not only intended for unhoused people. This is not an unhoused facility. It is not intended just to be a shelter or for people who don't have housing at the moment. This is intended as a supportive living environment that will be able to help people who need assistance in a way that we can meet them where their needs are currently at. This could include mental health. This could include physical disability for people who can't live on their own. Or it could be a stepping stone towards living in a market rental. This is a great opportunity for us to be able to take care of people in our community, our neighborhoods who really need help. And let's try to do one more push towards this to ensure that we can get the whole project. Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you. Councillor Delaney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and I agree with my colleagues around the table. I'm very happy to see this, although I'm a little bit skeptical. Feels like we're standing on quicksand when it comes to the promises that are made by our government and then how quickly things change. Did we get any budget commitments? I mean, I know they're applying for a development permit, but has there been budget committed from BC Housing? We know that there's a certain amount of money in the kitty that's going to bring this project over the finish line?
Yes, it is, but I'll let Mr. CO2 or his staff.
Your Worship, this is a question I'm hopeful that Beth can answer. Like, I know that we did get a letter with correspondence, but as for budget and any kind of commitment past that letter, I don't think there's anything, so.
Yes. So they've taken it to Treasury, and that happened, I think my mic's on.
Yes.
They took it to Treasury actually early last fall. So this has been in process. Our team has been working on the development permits and the architects on the project. So we're a fair ways down the road on the supportive housing portion. That site is large enough that I guess they're just electing to go in 2 phases. So the one phase that we have drawn and ready to go, and it's being processed through our planning team right now, and it's good. So when we got this letter of confirmation, I feel quite good about it.
Good. Answer your question. Well, 2 bits from
They
me.
paid for their development permit.
2 bits from me or my office. Yes, like my colleagues, I'm not happy because project's been cut in pieces. but I'm happy with whatever I get. This council is known for the push. It did not happen because you and me, trust me. This happened, Council Moses push and Ms. Camp's relation and push. You've been working on it, having the relation with the directors and manager, with the CEOs. I can't thank you enough to you both, Ms. Camp and Council Moses. I'm pushing, no question. Every time I call to Victoria, their favorite answer is, Your Worship, spend the money, we give it to you. You're in line, you'll get it. Our present $12, $13, $15 million project behind the City Hall, Glen Arbor is almost done. Another month and a half to 2 months, it would be occupied. And once they're done, and my understanding is they are ready to go work on this project. It's nothing but win-win situation. Once again, I can't push enough. This is a living proof of working together, the council and the staff, the regional district, the First Nation, everybody. Just imagine if Victoria can cut back all the project in the BC and our project is still alive, I'm happy. Yes, you might say why I'm happy. Even half the project is taken out. I'm happy whatever they give it to me. Today I was working for $1. At least tomorrow we'll work for 50 cents, 40 cents, whatever left to do. Like my colleague said, we'll keep working. This council is known to push. We'll keep pushing. We're not going to give up. Staff not going to give up. There's hardly any day I know Ms. Camp don't call to these guys. Regardless, it's a housing issue. Regardless, it's an immigration issue. We are always on the phone with somebody. That is the kind of staff we needed. And this community is so blessed with the staff. I can't say enough about our staff we had. Folks, I spent all day here in the City Hall every day with these people. They're wonderful. I wouldn't trade any one of them with anything else. Thank you, sir, Mr. Maraca. Keep up the good work, and we'll working. And once again, thank you, Ms. Camp, and thank you, Council Moses, for all your push to your level, okay? All in favor? Carried unanimously. Before we go to the next agenda item, I need a 10-second. Let me put the jersey on, and then we will read the recommendation. By the way, I did, it's done at the staff-to-staff level. Just before the council meeting, I called my colleague, Mayor Ron Paul, his worship, and he said, I'll tell after what he said. Let the staff read, please.
The recommendation, whereas Williams Lake is home to the best hockey teams in BC, and whereas the Williams Lake Mustangs and Quesnel River Rush teams are currently competing against each other in the first round of the 2026 Tech Cup, and whereas the City of Williams Lake Mayor and Council are confident of a Mustangs victory, now therefore be it resolved that the City of Williams Lake formally issue a challenge to the City of Quesnel that, when the Williams Lake Mustangs inevitably win the series, His Worship Mayor Ron Paul of Quesnel will wear a Williams Lake Mustangs jersey for the entirety of the first regular City of Quesnel Council meeting following the series completion. And further that, in the unlikely, if not unfathomable situation where a Quesnel team prevails and wins the series, His Worship Mayor Surinder Paul Rather of Williams Lake will agree to wear a Quesnel River Rush jersey for the entirety of the first regular City of Williams Lake Council meeting following the series completion.
I need moved and seconded. Moved and seconded. I'll come back to my story. I called His Worship Mayor Ron Paul, and his answer was, Your Worship, challenge accepted happily. So I'm happy, and I would request and suggest our team in William Lake, Mustang people, guys, go Mustang, work hard. Unless you want your mayor to wear Quesnel jersey, it's up to you. And I was honored last year, a couple of us wore the Mustang as well as the other hockey team jersey, two of us during the Stampede Parade. Hopefully, most of you remember that. And look forward for our team to win. I'd like to send them a good luck. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. And the council information package.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Council Flash Puller.
Thank you, Your Worship. I do want to pull out one item. It is the City of Prince George regarding safety petition. So it's just a letter that's been sent to us. The City of Prince George have taken it upon themselves to get a petition established just in regards to frustrations that municipalities are having about safety. And I just want to encourage the community, because we hear so many people in this community that are frustrated with the way that we are impacted by repeat offenders, by the increase of crime, and how businesses are struggling. And in this petition that's been established, it states in here that Prince George, the City of Prince George, had put forth. It says, the petition calls upon the federal government to, 1, amend the Criminal Code of Canada to strengthen bail requirements for prolific and non-violent offenders to include provisions for repeat offenses to lead to automatic detention, release to be dependent on reverse onus, and or demonstrations of the principle of respect for law. 2, appoint more judges, Crown prosecutors, and paralegals to end court backlogs. 3, provide funding and resources for Crown Counsel to increase capacity and decrease delays in preparing and bringing cases to court in a timely manner. And 4, providing funding and resources to provincial correctional centers and support services to increase capacity for detention of individuals, as well as providing rehabilitation and release planning services. The reason I'm bringing this up is that so many people reach out to this level of government and they want us to be able to fix these things. But this is at the level where things can be really, truly fixed. So I just want to encourage community members, if they want to look into our agenda. You'll be able to see the link to this petition. So if you want to sign it, sign it. And then it gets so that there's more voices to encourage the federal government to make those changes so that people are not out on the street that should be actually in behind a place where they should be. Thank you.
Thank you. Echoing with your thoughts and comment, Councillor Flashballer, I want to encourage the community to call upon our Member of Parliament, Mr. Dorothy has been excellent. I can't speak high enough. He raised this issue time to time. Call upon his office, write him a letter. Whatever you think, if you think these issues are above your head and you're tired of it, we need to do something. There's no question. We can keep writing letter. I don't know what would make a difference, but the best way to do it is to write a letter, support, and give the ammunition to your Member of Parliament. Let him take it to the Parliament. Hopefully, they will deliver. Councillor Nelson.
I agree with my colleague, Councillor Flashballer, on this particular letter that's in front of us. I'll be supporting it, but I also think we should be bringing forward the 4 recommendations and endorsing them as a policy statement and forward them along as well. I'll move.
Totally agree. Councillor Flashballer.
Thank you, Your Worship. Yes, I'll second that, but I would like to make a friendly amendment that we ask staff to maybe put a link for this petition on the website and then also maybe put something in social media so that community is aware.
Favorable.
I don't see any problem, Mr. Maraca.
No, Your Worship, I think that's a great idea. So
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. So we will deal with this item first before we go separately, or should we go in receiving the package?
So, Your Worship, I recommend just receive it and then do
Okay, we come
this is
back.
a secondary motion.
Okay,
yeah.
come back. Thank you. Further, I want everybody to know Canadian Armed Forces are training in our area. especially
Call a
Canada-
question on that motion, Your Worship.
Say again? We'll do after the saving. Yeah, that's what the information I received from the staff.
you.
Just for information purpose for the community, because we haven't had every letter, we have received a letter that the Canadian Armed Forces is doing a training in the Caribou-Chilcotin area. So if you see the big helicopter planes going and coming, if you hear noise, don't get worried. Around is too far away from here, but be ready for any emergency or anything. So this is for information. The package is to receive the package for information package. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor? Carried unanimously. Now, Council Flash Fuller, your motion. Oh, Councilor Nelson, okay, fair enough. You got it, sir?
Yes, Your Worship, just to endorse those 4 points and
Okay,
to make sure
yeah.
that it was placed on the website.
And then, yes, exactly. So moved and seconded. Any question, concern? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried unanimously. Excellent. And then we are going to roundtable. Councilor Lyon, please.
Nothing for me, thanks.
Thank you. Councilor Bain.
Thank you, Your Worship. I just wanted to actually start by apologizing. I really wanted to get a resolution in about about healthcare and laddering, as I've heard a friend of mine that's a nursing instructor. And a common thing I've been saying right now is that they need to figure out how to educate, like, say, nursing, for instance, but any healthcare provider, like laddering them back into, like, say, going from a carried to an LPN is laddering, I guess they're referring to it. Anyway, I do want to do a resolution regarding that the government works. So I work with the universities to figure out a way to expedite this and bring classes that we need in local smaller communities. So somehow I will word this, and unfortunately, Ross, I will get that out by email to everybody, because the 13th it has to be in. So I am apologizing but I will get on that and get it out to all of you, because we'll need approval before the 13th.
We
And
can
so
get,
I'll get it into Mr. Coupe. Hopefully
can
that's
do all
okay.
of
Sorry
them.
about that.
Yeah, I
So
think
if
it is
that's all,
okay.
you guys will all get it, but we need all of us, I think, because it won't be in a meeting,
Poll of
right?
council.
Yeah,
Poll of council, we
yeah.
can do staff.
So I will be doing a resolution
Yeah,
for that.
thank you.
And the only other thing I had to say is it's dry grad time, so you'll be seeing lots of the dry grad raffle tickets out and about again. So watch
Thank
that.
you.
Thanks.
Councilor Moses.
Thank you, Your Worship. You look good in that jersey, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have the orange shirt day version of that jersey, so I'll make sure, even if you have to somehow wear the other jersey, I'll represent
Oh, you betcha.
our
You'll love
Williams
to.
Lake one.
Love to hear.
But speaking of Orange Shirt Day, the big event that Orange Shirt Society was planning for Vancouver in April is having to be postponed. So I'll make sure to let everyone know when we have a new date. There were some planning difficulties that we couldn't get around, so.
If I correctly remember, council resolution that I go represent something like that, if I remember. Yeah, or designated. So I appreciate if you could let us know.
Yeah, as soon as we have a new date, I'll
Yeah,
make sure
please.
to give
Thank
you
you.
an update.
Thank you, Councilor Moses.
This Thursday, we have another Williams Lake Film Club event. It's a Oscar-nominated animated film, so everyone bring your kids. Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you. Councilor Nelson.
Well, thank you very much, Your Worship. I was going to do the notice of motion under the notice of motions, but I'll do it right now under the guys, if that's okay with you. I was supposed to do it under the notice of
I
motion.
don't have a problem. You go ahead.
So the reason it's a notice of motion is that I think my colleagues need to think about what I'm going to bring forward with regards to public safety. Obviously, you're well aware of a number of issues that have occurred in our community, more specifically tied to the prolific homeless that are causing absolute havoc in our community. You're well aware that they've burnt down millions of dollars of infrastructure in our community and local businesses and put fear into our community. We now know, we saw on our agenda, the province, Your Worship, is failing to provide the appropriate services and the wraparound services. So quite frankly, the community needs to embark upon a new path and a new agenda. So I'll put it on the table for council's consideration for 2 weeks out. Thank you,
Excellent.
Worship. Be it resolved that council endorse, support, advocate, and enforce that public safety of Williams Lake be the top priority by enforcing the following policies. First, homeless, prolific individuals that wreak havoc on our community and individuals with mental illnesses that continue to wreak havoc on our community that are known to the police and interior health and who live on the streets, period. 2, any homeless, prolific persons who wreaks havoc on our community or persons of mental illnesses who continue to wreak havoc on our community, be it the policy of council that they be enforced to wear GPS. We seek jail. We seek 24/7 wraparound services, or we encourage them to move to a community with the appropriate wraparound services. 3, furthermore, that any homeless, prolific offenders or persons with mental illnesses wreaking havoc on the streets of Williams Lake who have more than 3 charges be offered, encouraged, persuaded to a one-way bus ticket with $100 for dinner to the space available in the province of BC, Alberta, or Alaska, with the wraparound services to assist them. And further, staff be requested to implement the above policies ASAP to protect our communities, public safety, and staff from the appropriate authorities. Thank you, Worship.
Thank you. We will definitely notice motion received, and we will work on it. So I request each and every one council member work on it.
Thank you.
And do the research, and we'll deal with that 2 weeks down the road. Council Flashfuller.
Thank you, Your Worship. If you're requesting me to be doing research, which I am very willing to do, I would appreciate getting this motion maybe emailed to us so it's
Definitely.
clear, rather than just hearing it. And then also, because I'm going to have to find out how a council can actually do any of these things. That's what my research
Definitely.
will be
No.
diving into. So
Once the staff
I
get
want
it,
clarity on the wording, so
Yeah,
thank you.
minutes
That's
done or
possible.
tomorrow, something in writing, and will be mailed along with the motion from Council Beam, and work
Great
on it,
idea.
we'll vote on it, okay?
Thank you, Worship.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Council Nelson. You taking the bull by the horn. I know sometime you go a little bit further than I wanted to go, but I appreciate it, what you're trying to do. I know exactly what you're trying to achieve here. I appreciate it.
Make the community safe.
Exactly. Council Delaney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would just like to let the community know that on April 11th, we are having Battle of Boitano #2, which is a disc golf tournament taking place at our beautiful park in Boitano. It's a C-tier tournament, so you do require a PDGA membership. And then we've just announced Chains of the Caribou, Bark and Baskets, which is going to happen on June 6th. This is also a C-tier PDGA-sponsored tournament happening at Essler. So if any of you out there are disc golf fanatics, please check out Disc Golf Scene. The registration is now open. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. If you could send me a little note, I would appreciate it. Otherwise, I didn't record it, what you said. I have to go watch again. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, Council Flashfuller, please.
Nothing from me. Thank you.
Well, a couple things from me. I appreciate it. There's lots of things happening in the community. Lots of things did happen. Just before the council, there was a police all over the place. There's a special task force here. And things are some places getting out of hand. Like Council Nelson, I know where he's coming from, where he came. Yesterday in the evening, 2 people came to me. Unfortunately, they was both employees of the surplus survey. The both ladies was crying. They lost the job. Whatever the reason is, I don't think our community deserves that. And thanks to Mr. Muraka, I got a complaint. I went personally on Yorkton Street. You people reported before, and they raised the suggestion. And I reported, I came and discussed the matter with Mr. Muraka. My promise to the proponent was, I can't promise what you're suggesting would be done, but I promise that somebody from the staff would look into. Mr. Muraka was kind enough to agree with the proposal, and he has directed to the staff. And my main thing to Mr. Muraka was, even I can take one portion of the complaint away, is helping us. That's what Mr. Maraca trying to address it. Whatever the portion we can do, like I said earlier, we don't know anything. We wait for the community, we wait for the people to tell us what they think, what's happening. We will work together, and thanks to Mr. Maraca once again. And tomorrow, 12:30, our Navy Forces people was here today. They're going to be, I think it's at 12:30 tomorrow in the chamber. So I request each and every council member come. And I may be busy somewhere. If I may request to Councilor Moses, who's acting, so be here, please, and talk to Mr. Coupe or Ms. Beankamp or Kim Dresser. They would help you if I'm not here. I could be here, but in case I'm not here, looks like I would be away for tomorrow. And then hockey team, what can I say? The people other day was washing cars and wheels, and I wanted to thanks to all the young boys, young players, did an excellent job, and thanks to Councilor Nelson, who called me to make sure I go there, and even though he didn't lend me the money to donate them, but whatever I had, I did, and thanks everybody. Last but not least, the good news is I was on the GOAT News this afternoon. City is celebrating its birthday. Supposed to be 15th of March. In 1929, when city was incorporated, because 15th March is falling on the weekend and museum and the TDC is closed on the weekend, so they are celebrating on Friday, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. It's a city's birthday tea, so I encourage each and every one of you, please be there and be part of the celebration. I can't insist enough. It's our birthday, it's our community's birthday. And thank you very much from me, Mr. Maraca.
Your Worship, I heard that Councillor Nelson, with the rising fuel costs, his gas station is going to be surplus in gas at $1.15 a liter. Is that true, Mr. Nelson?
Oh, man, I thought it was $1.25.
Is that a true statement? Is that what?
I wish.
No, I don't have anything else, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Actually, it's a crazy, it wasn't very long. I filled up my truck, it was $1.25. Then I went to fuel up other day.
Right.
It was $1.62, and in Lower Mainland, $1.80 or something. Mr. Coupe. Ms. Beankamp, anything? Mr. CFO, thank you very much for all the good work you guys doing. I appreciate it. James, anything, sir? Media, anything from you? Thank you. Motion to close the meeting.
So moved.
And hold on, we have to do motion to adjourn yet. Motion to adjourn. Moved and seconded, all in favor. Thank you. Excellent.